Mimbo me voices in na fe ya follow enso e de akire ana me boa de chance okay mama yense every some ensema e wo ya say every president Mr. Keti yeso kreku akasa na o say opam otuado no na eye dempa Edman Tama na o kachi otuado say adwuma no Ghana enso entimi ene no enso entwa so ya de na che say emu eye din ye pa no ye nkoba kakra o pen no nso editu da bet dia che say eye huye eye speaker at the Emma Parliament abangbaben that's on the coaching job otuado be no hu bi krada because say coaching job we no was on the do hu enye coaching na che say won nso ehu because coaching ni pa de
I know why I'm doing this. The money that KGL is spending and the money that some of us spend in football, we are very concerned about it. You saw our lone striker up front. One of the strikers, as you know, is our star now, playing in UK. But he's a utility player, so he goes back to win the ball and he's to spin it.
Okay, I know you're not there as man Babin and so added to Jabet. Kofi, before then, me am titi qualification on crown sana yet to me, Abafi property. We need to be able to be Fabia, so near Modia, Yatifo, Yetimu.
And media near to Italy, Nipa Bako pe, and I assembly Maria Homano, Sandro Tonali. Italy for new generation, new crop of players nearby, no. No, Federico Chiesa, Nicolo Barella, Alejandro Bastoni, Manuel Locatelli, Gianluigi Donnarumma. All of these guys, no, they had very, very good cameo into the scene. Our Jumano Mopesa Moye, our Italy, and how they wanted things to go about, which was very, very important. And the biggest issue has been said, all of these players in major tournament for Italy, but for Abrante Feno, Sandro Tonali. So in the last Euros, no, Sandro Tonali, Iprayo, and Kobe. Federico Chiesa, Mutinico, Bastoni were part of the team. Gianluigi Donnarumma, they were all part of the team. But the young Sandro Tonali could not get a place. And so the last two games are Boma Italy, the game against Northern Ireland, and then this one against team my friend Bosnia and Herzegovina. For me, he was the best player on the field of play. In Fimi under Gennaro Gattuso, Bono has been on no Barella and Locatelli. But Sandro Tonali has been the standout for me. I didn't expect that from him. He's a more technical midfielder. On Shedanye, the physical and the most intense of the lot. He's more the technical guy.
Yeah.
But the first goal in the game against Northern Ireland, then in a game against Bosnia and Herzegovina, he was very important for them. The real game they panning out over the last few weeks. Sena Basafono Edin Komo several times about who they want to bring to their left centre back. The first thing that comes up is Alejandro Bastoni. Because of experience, when he ball the ball, and all of those things. But Debia, if I'm going through my paces to analyze Bastonia, say me what is the flaw of Abrante Feno Alejandro Bastonia? My mind takes me back to moments like that.
Nekasi die.
Can't specify to be a committee foul CB as a lose track of where he is as a player.
Okay.
Remember one example in the league phase of the Champions League this season. How many Liverpool? How would they go say pay me 0-0?
Yeah.
Until the death. Now Alejandro Bastonia coaching Florian Vieta Tade. Our boxing. Now Liverpool nya penalty no mabache. Interphone. The Liverpool win the game by go to 0. Ketty a penalty of Branch FN Domenico Szoboszlai. So even in the game against Northern Ireland, he committed such a foul. Then this one, the ball gets floated. Bastoni will pace, will power. You could deal with this or even allow them to score. And then can be 1-1 for Italy. Then you allow the Bosnians to get an equalizer. And then I kind of accepted that maybe that is the major flaw of Abrante Feno Alejandro Bastoni as a player. And Nyame Yane say he may live with that guilt for the rest of his young playing career. Say Onunti, the third time Italy were this close to going to the World Cup, a mistake from him probably started the cascading result of Niema Ama Italian qualifying World Cup. I think the Italians were good. When you're part of those games, Abeka say Italy were bad. See, sometimes countries go through tough times. And I'm sure Italy situation. I'm saying, if Ghana were Italy and we didn't qualify for the World Cup for 3 times, for Italy and the World Cup, I could say Ghana and the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
So imagine say Ghana qualify
yeah.
African Cup of Nations for 3 times.
And that means a war sankasa.
Masa, whoever you are, Obeji. But I think that sometimes these things happen. Teams get to points where for them to rally something. No, yeah. They were intense, they were physical, they won duels, they dug deep. DiMarco, Mo, Spinazzola, Brian Cristante. This is a team that has individuals and personalities, the likes of Ricardo Calafiori and the likes. But when it mattered most, I say sometimes even the highest of the best professionals in football, no, emotions get to them.
Okay.
And then right in the penalty shootout, it was clear. Bosnians no at the camera 1-1. Omo stadium, they have the extra man with Omo fans. And the ball no baby a Bosnia 4 fans no. Then we started penalty shootout. The young Bosnian player come to score. The first person to play is Pierre Esposito. 18, 19, 20 years of age. Young Italian player. This is his first or second full season. Europe with Internazionale Milan. Esposito, take tall, bulky of a man. You can tell from all 3 or 4 penalties that Italians say for them, because of the emotions, the focus of the penalties was not about finesse but power. In the Esposito, fire the ball into the fans. Now Bosnia for us. Then Sandro Tonali comes to effect the kick nicely. Then the next one, you get Abrentia Freno, Cristante Mubejina Bonechi. Now Spinazzola, now Boba Nasia Samba Besion. Again, the same power that Esposito de Coyero. On the night, I think the emotions let him down. It's the cruel aspect of football, which we'll look at that. But away from that, it's been 52 years plus. The DRC now wins the World Cup. From when they were known as a country called Zaire to the Democratic Republic of Congo. I think that the journey has been very, very interesting.
Okay.
Maybe amongst all the countries that qualify for World Cup, no, they are the story about the DRC. Because it has been a war-torn country for the better part of the 52 years now. To DRC for big issues that happened to them as a country. Now, almost starting of football evolution, you know, the plan was to just go back to 2 countries a warm side during colonization time, Belgium and France, to go and look for young DRC bonds. Our countries to come and play for them. So that is why the likes of Ata Masuako, Chancellor Mbemba, you have the like of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, all of these guys, Cedric Bakambu, to come back into the team to come and help the DRC. And almost 30 years, no Marco AFCON, 1/16, AFCON, quarterfinal, AFCON, group stage, and then they did the job against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. And my managers qualify for the World Cup. So it's an interesting one. Check for also are back after I think 20 years or so.
Yeah.
We've get the Tekier also back into the team. A lot of them now have come back into the World Cup. It's been an exciting World Cup.
Okay.
As the days do draw back.
Okay. Ole tu Mamin Chewe.
Okay, Gabi. And Gattuso. Now I was feeling very sad for him because Italy won the World Cup 20 years ago in 2006 or Germany. And Gattuso was one of the key integral members of that team. Italy winning that trophy. If anybody told Gattuso that year, said 20 years later, you will be the manager to handle the Italian national team and carry them to a point where they will be on the verge of qualifying for a World Cup after failing to qualify for the 2 previous editions, I think or the second was anyone.
Yeah.
But then, looking at what we saw, it tells you that football, although it's a sport, essentially, we learn a lot of life lessons from it. Now, the reason why I felt very sorry for Gattuso is when you listen to him carefully, he sounds like a very emotional coach. And Africa should have been given less slots at the World Cup. Olusu game now, he will go far away and go and live there. Given and granted, said there's every reason to be disappointed, right? But if Gattuso will become a top coach, Sanyama we are all feminina is what will prepare him really well.
Okay.
Say Oman Pamono. Na omoja ejumani sin say onye till the next tournament on the board, that is maybe the Euros, the next Euros on the board. I think he would have learned enough to know how to deal with some of the emotions and how he expresses them. And now, how to keep your composure even in spite of the difficulties. Because that's what makes or breaks a manager. That is what sets apart the world-class managers from the ordinary managers. One thing I want to say is something he can leverage on is the fact that Italy that he has played for Italy before. He knows what it means to wear the jersey and play. Yes, Italian football is on the decline. 3 World Cups near among qualifier. So there's a lot of pressure. But if they keep the job with him, then he needs to learn and know that moving forward, even though a lot will be expected from him, he needs to understand that he is now getting into the deep end of management, not just on the field of play or tactics, but also managing the emotions. Into the Mecca about Gennaro Gattuso, I don't know. Now, and also, Graham Potter was back in the news. On say after Oja Chelsea Ejumano, wakotine fie kakra, and we didn't really hear of him until say Sweden for a year then. A year so mbefan Ejuma to come and coach their national team. And after yesterday, a lot of people are saying that was it his ingenuity that granted Sweden the qualification, or was it the presence of players like Victor Gyökeres, very key and integral members of the team? They were able to look at themselves and get that crucial win, crossing the line and qualifying for the World Cup. Definitely, say game say Ebana say team winia. You attribute the success to both the manager and the players. But one thing I'm really happy about for Graham Potter, and he say at least yes when you something that he can smile about, because over the last few years it's been so controversial. His competency, does he cut it as a manager? What can he do? But Sweden reposed some trust and faith in him. And then he has continued till now. We want to see how Sweden will play at the World Cup.
Okay. Mame nkomra me ba na ya ba be di nkomna to aso yi ntino mo de me mame nkomra me nkodi